This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, so LifeLock wants to remind you to update your passwords. Using the same password across multiple accounts makes you vulnerable to cybercriminals. For comprehensive identity theft protection, let LifeLock alert you to anything suspicious and fix any issues. Start protecting your identity today with a 30-day free trial at lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Today on CityCast Houston, to raise or not to raise? That is the question when it comes to your property taxes in Houston. Plus, why are so many hate crimes going unreported? Dynamic media personality Antre'chelle Nova is joining me to recap another busy week in H-Town. It's Friday, October 4th. I'm Raheel Ramzanali, and here's what Houston's talking about. Happy Friday, Antre'chelle. What's up? Good morning. How are you?
What's up? Good morning. Let's get it.
Oh, man, what a week it's been. Hey, we published our guide for October for, the best way to take advantage of everything happening in Houston. You can find that in your feed right now. But I want to get your October thing to do. What is Antre'chelle doing this October?
So October is super special to me. And over the past 4 or 5 years, it's been extremely different because my soror mentor, Lindsay Livingston, was diagnosed and survived breast cancer. And now she has become the Beyonce of breast cancer. And she has founded the Survive Her, a nonprofit organization. And this mission actually educates women, empower women about breast cancer awareness. And she raises money to get mammograms for women who can't afford them. And it was like, what? It is super dope. And so on October the 5th, they're having their third annual Survivor Soiree Momentum for Mammograms at the Momentum BMW Southwest location. It is a grand event. The ladies come from everywhere dressed up in their pink all over at the BMW Southwest location. So it's a little bougie. Well, no, it's very bougie. And it's all about pink. It is all in support of breast cancer awareness. So if you're a survivor, if you are a pre-vivor, or if you know somebody affected by breast cancer, this is what October means for me. It ain't about the orange and the spooky stuff. It's the pink out for the women to go check them tatas.
Yeah, it's so important, and it's so heartbreaking to hear that there are women out there that can't afford it. Like, that should be something that's free already, right? Like, that should be included. Just being a woman, when you're going for a checkup, it should be free. But, that's where we are in today's state. But yeah, I love this. And that event is tomorrow. We're going to put some information in our show notes. I wanted to add one more thing to October, but I didn't have time on our guide, and it looks like I won't have time to do it. But I really wanted to catch an Astros World Series game. That's not happening anymore.
It's not.
Our Astros are eliminated. They're done. All right. So I just want to throw that in there. Thank you for a great season, but the season is officially over.
It's a great season.
Yeah, you can't win every year, right?
You say you can't win every year, but actually you can. People do it.
It's really hard, Antre'chelle. It's really hard. What they just did, going on this run, that was really hard. Hey, what was your big story of the week?
So listen, my big story really caught me off guard because I just recently read that hate crimes and incidents in Harris County, they're actually going unreported right now because people just don't trust the police. Now, there's a new study from Rice University's Kinder Institute. They found that nearly 1/3 of Houston County residents have faced hate crimes, right? And incidents based on race, gender, or other protected characteristics, and most of these incidents are going unreported due to the distrust of law enforcement or belief that no action will be taken. Growing up in the hood, I totally agree and I totally understand. I had to think real hard about the number of times that things have happened to me. And I was like, man, let's just get home. I just want to go home. Now, this particular situation is crucial for Houston because it just really suggests, I don't know, I would want to say it shows, but you guys, you can read the data. The statistics that are out there may not fully reflect the reality right, of the discrimination and violence that are actually happening in the Houston area. And addressing this underreporting is important for fostering a better trust between communities and law enforcement, and for creating effective measures, right, to go and attack these hate crimes. That's the part that I want to know is like, what are we going to do about it? Now that you guys see what's happening, what are we going to do about it? Now, the gaps in federal and local data due to a shift in reporting systems exacerbate the challenge of addressing these crimes adequately.
I'm glad you brought this story up, Antre'chelle, and I was reading and kind of like figuring out like what is happening in that number that you mentioned, right? Like 31% reported it to police. That's not that much. Of the 73% of people who said they had experienced a hate crime or incident, right? So that is a lot of people right there that are saying, nah, I'm going to tell my friends and family, but I just don't believe anything will happen when it comes to a hate crime if I report it to police. Now, have you ever been a victim of a hate crime, and what did you do, Antre'chelle?
So I'm going to be honest. I have not been a victim of a hate crime, but my youngest brother has. And he was at a bar. It was over a girl because he real handsome. And she was a Caucasian young lady. And the Caucasian group of guys, they didn't like that. And that was his girlfriend. And there was a fight, and they choked my brother out. And as he was on top of my brother choking him, he was near death.
Oh, my gosh.
The dude was calling him all kind of N-words, calling him those words that no Black person should ever hear. And it has stayed with him for a very, very long time. Even to this day, it really affected him. And honestly, just like I stated, all you want to do is just go home. And that's what he did. He has been self-soothing. And that happened actually over 15 years ago in Texas, in Houston. And he rarely speaks about it, but it has affected him very deeply. So, yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear. Here's some other stats regarding hate crimes and what to do when reporting them, right, Antre'chelle? And this goes back to your brother's story. This goes to other incidents in that people don't know what to do. 22% of the survey respondents said they were unsure on how to report it. And here's the one that really broke my heart. 21% said it happens so often, they've just gotten used to it.
Yep.
Think about that. Oh.
I don't have to think about it. I live it. I know it. I know what that's like. And so what do you do? What do you do? How do you, I think about my son. We're going to have to start having those conversations. He's going to want to know why. Like, what do you mean? Let's just go home. We have to do something about this,
Yeah. Researching schools for my kids was important to me and my wife. And if you're currently doing that, then I have another option in education beyond the traditional offerings for your family. Check out The Village School. It was named a top 20 best private school in America by niche.com and offers pre-K through 12th grade. The Village School curriculum is rigorous and focuses on STEAM. That's a combination of science, technology, math, and the arts, so students are prepared to accomplish great things in their personal journeys. Want to see if the Village School is right for you and your student? Join them on November 8th at 9 a.m. for their open house, where you can tour the campus, meet with faculty, and see how you fit into their incredibly diverse community that has more than 90 countries represented. Register for the open house at thevillageschool.com. Again, their open house is on November 8th, and you can register at thevillageschool.com. Houston's original neighborhood, downtown is for everyone, and right now is the perfect time to start a new Saturday tradition with the Market Square Park Farmers Market. Every Saturday until November 16th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., you can enjoy this great weather that we're having and walk the farmers market like I do and check out all of the local growers and makers as they provide access to seasonally fresh and affordable fruit and vegetables, plus meat proteins and prepared foods, as well as other household goods. The best part? The Market Square Park Farmers Market is in collaboration with Central City Co-op, which is Houston's oldest organic, sustainable food co-op. There are several parking options, and it is accessible by the Metro Rail, so you can easily get to it. You can also enjoy live music performances by local artists and other entertainment so the entire family can have fun. Learn more at downtownhouston.org. Downtown Houston, get energized and revived. All right, Antre'chelle, let's get to our most overlooked stories of the week, and I'll kick things off. Houston has until October 28th to decide if they're going to change their tax rate and increase it after the rate has fallen almost 11 cents per $100 valuation in the last 9 years, costing the city about $2 billion, according to the city's finance department. And while discussions are ongoing about increasing the property tax rate, things are getting heated because city council members are going at it. And look, there is a discussion about like, how do we make up this $50 million in costs from Hurricane Beryl and derecho? So council member Joaquin Martinez raised the issue at the end of the meeting earlier this week and received a lot of opposition from council members Tiffany Thomas, Edward Pollard, and others. And here's a big quote from Councilwoman Thomas. She said, "When you're talking about a tax bill, flood insurance, freeze insurance, your premiums have gone up. You're literally pricing people out." So when we're thinking about raising these property taxes here in Houston, you got to think about what residents have already gone through, right?
Yeah.
Harris County announced that there's going to be a 8% hike in the tax rate for Harris County residents. You've got insurance premiums going up, as I just mentioned, and Councilwoman Thomas said, the city shouldn't pile on with a tax increase of its own.
So let me ask you a question, because, I'm not a political girly, but this definitely does pique my interest. Is it just we just not paying our bills? It's like we ain't got the money and they just want us to pay. What's up? What's going on?
Well, what's happening is the city of Houston has saved a lot of money for its residents, right? Because the property tax rate has fallen, as I mentioned, in the last 9 years. So at some point when you're saving that much money, the city is going to say, hey, we do need some of this money, right? Services are delayed. That's what council member Joaquin Martinez brought up. Like, hey, we got to improve our services, but that's going to cost money. Mayor Whitmire has talked about like, yeah, we might raise the property taxes, but first we need to get rid of waste. We need to figure out like where we're losing money right now. So before we do that, let's figure out if we can save on the current budget. So I'm kind of torn on this, right? Like I don't live in the city of Houston, right? So my say in this is probably not as important as somebody who lives in the suburbs. But from the outside looking in, Antre'chelle, at some point, maybe it is time to raise it a little bit if the city is struggling with providing services. But then I also see the other side that everything else is getting expensive. Why are we going to pile on? And one last note, City Controller Chris Holland said this week that the city's credit outlook has moved from stable to negative. And this reduction means that credit agencies are cautious about the city's long-term ability to meet its financial obligations. And the next step, by the way, in all of this could be a credit downgrade, which would make it more expensive for the city to borrow money.
Yeah, life is life in it. I don't know if we can take another raise to the expenses and the things that we have to pay for and add that on top of that. This is scary. This is nervous.
It is. And we keep talking about this, the home insurance crisis, which we're already going through as providers are pulling out, rates are going up.
Yes.
Everything is getting more expensive. I hope something is done about that as well, because it is that time of year for renewal. And this is a totally different story. I've been talking to friends and family, and I keep harping on this. Insurance premiums, when it comes to home insurance, it's getting unbelievable.
Yes.
And it is getting to the point where it's hard for people to pay them because they've gone up so much. So yeah, this is just this is scary times.
Scary times, baby.
Antre'chelle, what was your most overlooked story?
So let's talk about it. And this is something that is kind of it's historical. And I think we should all look into it because I didn't know about this, but I thought it was pretty cool. Union Pacific's Big Boi number 4014 is the world's largest operational steam locomotive, and it is coming to Houston and as a part of the Heartland American Tour. Now, this is a historic train which dates back to 1941. It'll be on a public display in Houston, and it will allow the visitors to marvel the engineering. Now, this is important for Houston because it is in a celebration of the rail history and industrial heritage. Now, the train enthusiasts will be excited about a rare close-up of a steam engine, right? A living piece of American history and the chance to connect with railway heritage. Now, the Big Boi will serve as the centerpiece of a private event for Union Pacific employees on Saturday. And then there will be a public viewing on Sunday in Houston's downtown Aramac Strait Station, 902 Washington Avenue. And the public event is from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And you will get a chance to get up close and personal with the train and talk to the workers who keep running it. I think this is pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And now, guys, they want to be clear, let you know that there is no parking at the Amtrak station, but there is parking available nearby. So get up and get there early so you can see the Big Boi.
Antre'chelle, when you sent me this story, I got so hyped up because I was like, what? I was like, wait, Outkast is coming? Big Boi is coming here? Hey, we're going to get Outkast reunion here? But it's actually the train. So that kind of broke my heart.
It's the train, dog.
I was like, Andre 3000 came a couple of weeks ago to Houston and he was just doing the flute concert. I was like, man,
No.
I want Outkast here. No, but this is really cool. You're right. This is a part of American history. And the Big Boi rolling through the city of Houston and a chance for residents to see that huge train. I mean, the pictures are incredible. You see the size of this thing. And just imagine there were so many of these once just going up and down our train tracks across the nation. It's just a beautiful piece of engineering. And I love to see stuff like this.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. I'm definitely taking my son out. That's what made me stop and look, was like, dang, this is really cool. If I didn't have a little boy who liked trains or who wants to be an engineer, I probably wouldn't care. But this is great.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, so LifeLock wants to remind you to update your passwords. Using the same password across multiple accounts makes you vulnerable to cybercriminals. For comprehensive identity theft protection, let LifeLock alert you to anything suspicious and fix any issues. Start protecting your identity today with a 30-day free trial at lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
In this ad for the Mobile One brand, I have 30 seconds to talk about driving, which might be what you're doing right now. Maybe you're in the car, you're free, you're in control, on an open road with an open calendar. Your mind is wandering, and you're going with it. Or maybe you're stuck at work, in meetings, or emails, or worse, meetings about emails. And if that's the case, there's only one question. Why? Mobile One, for the love of driving. Visit loveofdriving.us/radio to learn more.
Hey, Antre'chelle, let's get to our moment of joy. Why don't you kick this one off? What do you got for me?
Well, if you haven't heard, it is hard opening a restaurant. It's hard, right? So what are some business owners having to do? They're getting on social media. Maybe they're not getting on their social media, but their children are. Now, their business had been slow at 2M, a Vietnamese vegan restaurant in Houston, right, in Asiatown. And so one day, a 15-year-old son of the owner took it upon himself and opened up a TikTok for the restaurant. And the first video went viral, over 2 million views. Now, all he did was he did a pan of the empty restaurant and then showing his mom. And it read, "It genuinely breaks my heart to see my mom waiting for customers to come, knowing how hard she works." Everybody saw this video, and not only did they start showing their support, they started sharing it. It hit 2 million views, over 200,000 likes and shares, and that got the business up and going. And I was like, man, look, as a social media manager, y'all know I believe in social media. Social media is not going anywhere, but I'm telling you this, I even want to go to the vegan Vietnamese restaurant, and I'm not even vegan, okay? I just want to go and support, and I really appreciate this because Keith Lee didn't have to do it. Their 15-year-old son did it, and I know they are very proud and happy that he did it.
That is so awesome. I love hearing stories like that, especially for businesses where, it's mom and pop owned. They're taking a chance, they're taking a risk and starting a business, and things don't go the way that you expect it to go. And with so much competition, as you mentioned, so hard to open a restaurant, let alone survive and thrive as a restaurant owner. It is so hard out there. And the other thing I love about this is that it went beyond the likes and the shares, right? Like people actually went and supported it, because one of my big things about going viral, it's great, but those imaginary likes and shares don't do anything for the bottom line if people aren't spending their money. So
Correct.
The fact that people went out and supported this restaurant, it makes me really, really happy.
Absolutely. The lights got to turn into dollars. And that's what happened here. And that is a huge success. So bravo and congratulations to this family.
Love that. All right. My moment of joy. Earlier this year, we found out that the Houston Art Car Museum would be closing shop, but now it's found a new life after a $1.25 million gift from the Haritas family through the South Texas Charitable Foundation. Now, the new museum will be on the new Orange Show Center for Visionary Arts, soon to be redeveloped campus, according to Culture Map Houston. So I don't know if you've seen the renderings for the new redeveloped campus for the Orange Show, but it looks amazing. And it looks like the place to be for people who love the arts and that fun, wacky side of our city, right? With the art car parade.
Yes, I love that. I love the art car parade. It's definitely a treasure. And I'm so excited. It got that money, baby.
I love it. And the Orange Show, by the way, has produced the annual art car parade for decades. And now this gift is going to make sure that these two creative forces stay together for many, many years. So congratulations to them. It's such an important part of our city and its history. So I love seeing stuff like this. And I love that people are making these donations to the arts.
Yeah.
Support the arts. Antre'chelle, that was a lot of fun. Enjoy seeing Big Boi, the train, not Outcast, this weekend, all right?
Bet. All right. Y'all be easy.
That was Antre'chelle Nova. All of the stories we discussed are linked in our show notes. Hey, a big thank you to everyone who shared an episode this week. And if you haven't done that yet, please share today's episode with 3 friends. And don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter, Hey Houston, for more local news and Houston happenings. That will do it for this week here on CityCast Houston. Our producers are Francisco Kilgore, Zoe Culkin, and of course, Carleon Jones. Our newsletter editor is Brooke Lewis, and our executive producer is Laura Eisensee. I'm your host, Raheel Ramzanali. Our music is by the band All the Kimonos. We'll be back on Monday to answer this question. Is it journalism or is it pink slime? Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something new.
Is that it? Is that better?
Oh, that's way better.
Oh, okay. Look at me fixing it. Just to go backwards real quick, I did get some big ass lobster for my birthday.